Hi, my name is Isako. I am the creative person's son. I am an astrologer and tarot reader. And today we are going to be looking back with astrology using the chart of Brett Cooper, right? So in today's presentation, I am going to break down her natal chart and then we're going to go to a bi-wheel based on the events that transpired when she left the Daily Wire or had her last episode with the Daily Wire, right? Or on the Daily Wire, whatever you want to call it, right? And why I thought this chart was interesting in the first place is because she is thriving. In 2025, she is thriving. She has her own channel. She's doing her own thing. And I want people to know that when you are going through, crazy cycles, you can still come out of it on top. That's kind of like how I'm seeing Brett Cooper's story is that she went through this cycle and it wasn't the greatest, but she still came out on top. And I want people to know that if you consult with someone who knows what they are doing, or if you even study your own cycles, don't be doom and gloom about it. You know, it's not forever. So I am going to go to the chart now. And before I continue, this is verified birth chart data from astro.com. Right. So we are talking about Brett Cooper as a, what does she say? She's like a professional talker. I think that's what I heard her say once upon a time. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, right? But she's basically a commentator online on YouTube, right? And when we are speaking about someone who is a commentator, one thing we are seeing is a very elevated Mercury. Look at that Mercury. It is in the 10th house, it is in the sign of Libra, but it is also retrograde. And to me, this is showing someone who tries to create a sense of harmony with her internal thought processes, right? So she's working hard on this. And Mercury is also conjunct the sun in Libra. So we can tell this is a very concentrated area of focus for her when it comes to what she's putting out there and how she's putting herself out there. So I think that, if you're having a Mercury retrograde within your own natal chart, take it as it comes and learn a lot about it. Right, but back to the chart, back to why we are here. Now, her Mercury, right? How is she able to do what she does? She needs to be someone who thinks outside of the box. And how does she think outside of the box? Well, she does it probably in a very spontaneous way, and this is why she's also good at what she does. Look at Uranus in the second house of earned income, right? Uranus is in Aquarius at 21 degrees, and it's showing, changes within her sense of value, within her income, right? But Uranus is making this supportive aspect to Mercury in the 10th, right? So we are seeing that the changes in value, she uses that to her advantage in her career. And she is able to make money off of this, being a professional YouTuber commentator. It's something that is very prominent. I mean, look at that orb. It's like very, very close for her, right? But why I think she is so successful at what she is doing, right? We're still in that second house. We have Mars at 20 degrees of Capricorn. Now, say what you want, but this is a very strong Mars, right? Obviously, we have to take into consideration the aspects that it's making within the chart. But Mars is in its sign of exaltation, right? In the sign of Capricorn. She is a hard worker. She is willing to push to get what needs to be gotten, to promote herself. And that's kind of what it takes to be successful within this industry. You need to be in the driver's seat. You need to be willing and able to push and have those connections as well. I mean, let's not forget the fact that Mars is the ruler of her 11th, right? So we can see how friends and acquaintances are playing a part in the way that she's making money. But the fact that it's in Capricorn, I am not surprised that she decided to have her own channel and she's so successful at the moment. Like, she has that drive and she has that ability. And the fact that Mars is aspecting that Mercury and the Sun in the 10th house. Yes, it's a square, right? Don't let that green fool you. It's a square. And yes, it causes attention or irritation, attention and irritation towards some sort of angry communication, right? But it drives her, it motivates her, it gets her started, it fires her up. You know, it's not fire planets, but she is a Sagittarius rising. So it is a very motivating force for her. Now, I decided to look at the day that she left the Daily Wire because I was like, I feel like there's something here. And there was. So as you can see, Brett Cooper's natal chart is in the inner wheel, right? And the transit for the 10th of December is on the outer wheel. Now, what I do want you to take note of, right, is I didn't really speak about her Libra MC, but obviously it is ruled by Venus in Virgo, which is in her 9th house, right? And yeah, Venus in Virgo, she's a bit uncomfortable there, but she does what she needs to. You know, she gets life done. She gets life done. So at the time of her having the last episode and leaving the Daily Wire, Neptune, transiting Neptune, was opposite her natal Venus. And we can see that this didn't come from her. You know, this wasn't something that was driven by her. It was driven by a situations outside of herself. And it was probably very disorientating. She probably felt very, you know, washed out. Like, I'm even like washed out from just seeing this. um, but I do want to take note, right? Look at Saturn, right? Both Saturn and Neptune are in the house of communication, right? And Saturn is making a square to her natal Saturn, right? So we can see that again, there's some tension. You know, she's saying goodbye. She's closing this chapter because of situation out of her control. And Jupiter conjunct her Saturn is like making things probably even bigger than she thought, you know, and her fans weren't that impressed with the change. Like, obviously, you know, you built this following, this reputation, this standing. People are gonna make some noise when there are some changes, right? But Saturn, square Saturn, it's not the worst thing in the world. And do you want to know why? I'll tell you. Look at Jupiter in Cancer, her natal Jupiter in Cancer, right? So Jupiter is the ruler of her ascendant, right? And this is what I was trying to say, where it's like, you know, you might have something big going on. But I honestly feel like this was for the best for her, right? She was ready to close that chapter, or she has made peace with closing that chapter. We will never know. We don't know her personally. But Saturn is trine her natal Jupiter, right? And we are seeing that she has some stability, some support. And for me, this is the fact that she was able to start up her own channel. At the end of the day, like, she made the moves necessary to, you know, build something else for herself, build something outside of the Daily Wire. And remember, I mentioned that her Mars is in Capricorn. So she was like, I'll do the digging if it needs to be done, you know? And another supportive aspect I want to bring to your attention, right, is that Uranus in Taurus, right? It's in her 6th house, just circled it there. it is making a supportive aspect to her Venus, the ruler of her MC. So at the end of the day, I am seeing that she was able to get over this. And we also want to note, right? I know this happens a lot in the astrology community. Like, there is, we're going to use this example, Neptune in Pisces aspecting her Venus, right? Now, I want to make it clear that this was exact around 2023, right? That is when Neptune was at around 26 degrees, right? But within 2024, I think it's stationed direct around, the end of the year at 27 degrees of Pisces, right? So basically this was technically done. It was over, right? But there was just something that she needed to sort out, in regards to her career. That was Neptune and Pisces. This was just, the end result being publicized. And the fact that Uranus was actually aspecting her Venus. Like my mind just had a pause. Throughout 2024, for me, again, showing that supportive transition within her change in her status, right? So it's like, yes, she was closing this chapter, but she had support and she was able to come out of it. And that is to say that we shouldn't look at all our doom and gloom transits, like a nail in a coffin. Like, we can get through this. And she has shown that she has gotten through it and she is doing well and she's great and she's happy. Now, if there is something you'd like to add, any comments you have, just let me know down below in the comment section. If you want me to dig deeper in this. I mean, I think today I feel like I covered all the important stuff, but maybe there's something I missed. And I hope that you enjoyed this presentation. And I am just going to stop, share the recording, and enjoy the rest of your day.